Well, good morning. Just coming up to 25 to 12 and welcome to episode 3. And you saw me spotting my right-hander in amongst the pads. I literally just made myself a brew and it's absolutely melted off. After a few scary moments, managed to get it in the open water, and I've gone and slipped the net under what looks like a reasonable common. So let's get it on the mat and have a look.
Well, couldn't have been fishing for more than 20 minutes today, and I've gone and bagged a nice common. Proper old warrior, this one. It's got a bit of a battered dorsal. I think we should nickname this one Spike. That'll do to start the session. Okie dokie then, slip it back. Let's see what the rest of the day's got in store for us. Good morning, it's just gone 20 past 11 on Friday the 13th. Some of you watching this blog might be superstitious about fishing on that particular day, but not me. If I get the chance, I'm out there fishing. So following on from yesterday's session, I ended up with 8 fish. You saw me spotting the rod towards the right of the pads, and I nicked that early common, which was the biggest one of the day. One of those captures included a big bream, and it was a big bream as well. But the majority of the other fish were mirrors, but there was only small ones, so I didn't bother messing about too much and blogging them. But I was convinced that yesterday's afternoon feed-up session was a sign of pre-spawning. In the back of my mind, I was expecting to arrive this morning and see plenty of activity on the lake in the way of spawning. But I've had a good look round, and I'm convinced that there's nothing going on. So I'm happy to get the rods out and start fishing. If I see any of the obvious signs like fish pairing up or splashing around in the margins, I won't hesitate, I'll pull off. I just thought I'd start this session with, you've no doubt heard me mention glugging and glazing, and it's something that I do with all my bottom baits. I'm not going to lie, it's not cheap, but in my opinion it's really, really effective. So with the old Scopex squid, I normally knock up about 5 kilos at a time. So this bucket here holds 5 kilos. Shelf life bottom baits. Straight out the bag. Then I get the Scopex squid syrup. Absolutely smother the liquid all over the baits. Get my hand in there, make sure all the baits are covered. And then I get some of the cultured stick mix. Top that off in amongst the bait. Get my hands in there again, bit of a messy job, but I do that 24 hours before any of my sessions, so leaving all the baits to obviously glug and glaze, soaking all that flavour. And yeah, once that's out in the pond, there's something, in my opinion, always going on, as opposed to a bottom bait just sitting there on the bottom of the lake. With all the extra flavour going inside the bait, that's oozing out. But the major thing that, in my opinion, just brings fish into your swim and keeps them there for a while is the old stick mix. There's little particles, it's almost like ground bait, just coming off the bait, oozing off constantly. So there's something in the water layers, and in my opinion it just gets the fish into your swim, and when they get on these baits, yeah, they absolutely love them. So yeah, I just thought I'd drop that in on this opening piece of this session. Right, as per usual, time to get the kettle on. Let's see what happens today, though. Catch you in a bit. Well, it's just gone midday and I've carried on where I left off. I've had 3 casts and 3 fish. All commons. I've had 2 off the pads and the third one was from the open water. And so far it's the biggest one of the session. So it's either pre-feed before the spawning, or they're absolutely loving the Scopex squid. There you go. Another bar of wild gold. Right, let's get back to it. Well, just gone and slipped the net under fish number 5. It's roughly about 1:30. I've took my watch off obviously because I'm handling the fish. I can honestly say all the years I've been carp fishing, I don't think I've ever fished a lake that contains so many scaly carp. And I've got another one here to show you. Thinking again, as I always do, and I mentioned earlier about the fish are absolutely loving the bait. Looking a bit more in depth in the situation, the wind's hacking to my left. This is the shallower end of the lake, and the open water spot where I've just had the bite from here, it's fizzing up like mad, so there's a lot of fish. These fish are, well, this is the shallow end of the lake, they're pushing up here I think just to get ready to spawn. So they're going to get ready to do the deed. I'll be very, very surprised if nothing happens over the weekend. But I've been checking the water and there's no signs as present yet. And I repeat, if I do hear anything or I see anything, I'm off. Not a big fish again, but really don't care because I'm catching carp and they're absolutely beautiful. There you go. Quite lively. So let's get it back out there. You never know, I might get another one. Well, it's just gone 2:20 and it's absolutely manic. On the mat I've got the 8th capture of the session, and this is a strong contender for the biggest one of the campaign so far. It's a common. It's come off the pads on the right, and literally I put the bag in, I saw the plume of bubbles with the bag dissolving, and then I literally put the rod on the R3, and then I looked at the spot and there was a clump of bubbles again, and it absolutely melted off. So yeah, this one must have been watching the bag melt. Right, no idea on the weight. There we go. Happy with that one. Big old paddle on it. Took me right in the middle of the pads. Real good scrap again. So yeah, fish number 8. Is there more to come? Watch this space.
It's just gone 4:05 and I've done it. I'm into double figures. I've just slipped back a little common, which makes that capture number 10. So I didn't expect that today. I mean, I thought yesterday was a good day. Oh, there we go. Well, there's me saying capture number 10. Correction, it's capture number 11. And what a violent take it was. It ripped the rod right out the butt grip. It's got a nasty wound, this one has, under its chin, so I'll treat that before it goes back. But I've got one more PVA bag left before I have to open a new packet, so let's get that hook out and that rod back on the spot, and I think I'll call it a day. But yeah, getting to double figures today. Didn't expect that in the slightest. That's carp fishing for you. Yeah, it's just gone exactly midday. It's a Wednesday. Air temperature's 22 degrees. It's supposed to be quite sunny all day, but it's actually overcast, which me personally, on a fishing condition, I'm quite happy with that. Back in the same swim. I've been fishing now for the last, what, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know if you can see that, there's some vortexes on the surface because I've been trickling mixers in. Last week I ended up with 12, which was, well, a red letter session. There wasn't any big fish amongst them, but there's plenty of scaly mirrors. And yeah, really enjoyable session. I've opted just for the one rod, which is on the spot which did most of the bites last week. Same presentation bait. I've had a few liners and I'm trickling floaters in, hopefully trying to nail one on the surface because conditions are absolutely pucker. On the spawning front, I've had a good look round again and there's no signs whatsoever, but what I have noticed is there's quite heavy scum on the water, and there's a lot of fish in amongst these pads, and they're sucking just underneath them. So I would say that there's a lot of natural food amongst this scum. So yeah, I'm not really expecting to do as well as I did last Friday, but you never know. But it's nice to be here. There's one other angler, and he's down the deeper end of the lake. That's about it really for this opening piece on this session. I've got to be honest, I'm quite surprised not to get down here and find the water being thrashed through a foam, because there's that many places now on social media that I know of and seen in my feeds that have actually closed the lakes due to spawning. I thought it was only a matter of time, but they haven't done the deed yet on this venue, so I'm more than happy to get the rods out and do some fishing. Right, I think it's time for some lunch and a nice cold drink. Fingers crossed for some action today. Right, let's get me bearings. It's proper scorchio now. It's just gone 3:25, and I've finally gone and bagged one off the surface and captured number 3 of the day. It's a mirror. I've been trickling the floaters in since well, what time did I come on camera this morning? About 11 o'clock-ish. So I've been trickling the floaters in steadily for a few hours now, and finally a big old pair of lips has come up and took my upbait. Overall, it's been quite a challenging session. These fish have been really cagey today, and I'm pretty sure that they're not too far away now from spawning. I'll do my best to try and give you a quick glimpse of this mirror. As I say, I don't want to mess around with it being such a hot day on the bank. Just want to get it out, unhook it and slip her back. It's a nice dark one again. Right, so maybe got 2 hours fishing left. Never know, might go and bag one more, but yeah, that rod will stay on the spot off the pads, and I'll continue trickling a few more floaters to hopefully bag one more before we leave. Right, let's go and sort this fish out. Good morning. It's Friday and it's just approaching 20 to 12, and I'm in a new swim today using 2 rods. Just before leaving on Wednesday, I had a look at this swim, and from what I'm told, it's got a reputation for producing the better fish that are in this lake. And believe it or not, that rod there in picture, which is spotted just before that bush or dead tree, within minutes of it hitting the spot, didn't even have a chance to put the bobbin on, resulting in a small mirror. And the right hand rod is just off the edge of the pads there. I've had a quick lead about, and the bottom there is absolutely rock hard, clean as a whistle. Is that due to the carp? Only time will tell. Usual baits, 15mm white pop-ups on both rods presented on twisted multi-rigs and solid bags with glugged and glazed scopex squid, and on that rod I flicked a little bit of bait over the top of the rig, put about 10-15 baits in. Weather-wise, it's a little bit cooler than it has been. Yesterday was not confirmed, but I would say it was the hottest day of the year. It was 22-23 degrees, but it's a bit cooler today, overcast. There's a lovely breeze, as you can see, blowing from the right to the left, and we've got showers forecasted on and off all day, so conditions look good. Let's see what today's got in store. Well, it's just coming up to 2:15, and the left-hander in the open water is just registered to drop back, and then the bobbin pulled up tight. Not a big fish, but I've gone and bagged a common. Dropped it in the edge as usual, so it's lively and silted up. There we go. Fish number 2 of the session. Good afternoon. It's just gone midday on a Wednesday, and I'm back in the same swim which I fished last Friday. Just experienced another heavy shower. I've not long checked the weather update on the Met Office mobile app, and these showers are supposed to peter out around about 1:30. Air temperature wise, it's around about 17-18 degrees, so it's not cold, and I've got a lovely breeze blowing from the right to the left, so conditions are absolutely, well, sexy in my opinion. Fishing 2 rods again, as you can see, both on the same spots. Right-hander is at the edge of the pads there, solid bag, 15mm white pop-up on one of my twisted multi-rigs. I've introduced a little bit more bait on that spot, and the left-hander is fished over towards the far margin. So we had 5 out of here last Friday. Let's see what today's got in store. Coffee's just been made, and it's time for some lunch, I think. Well, it's around about 2 o'clock, and the left-hander fished on the far margins, absolutely belted off, and I'm going to bag the first one of the session. But I'm going to try and, well, hopefully milk the moment, as they say. I hooked it in the net, get the rod sorted and back out in the spot before we do any photography or maybe some video. You never know, it could be dinner time. Well, we're just coming up to 4:30, and if you want me to be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to happen again today. I respotted the rod after the first capture, which was around about 2 o'clock, in the hope that it was bite time, but absolutely nothing happened. And I was just getting 1 or 2 things together to pack up around about 5, 5:15ish, and out the blue it's the same rod's rattled off again, and I've gone and bagged mirror number 2, so we'll get this one on the mat and have a look at it. Not going to faff around with it too much, but it's a little bit bigger than the previous capture today. Another fully scaled mirror. Superb. Right, let's get it. Well, it's still morning just about as we approach midday. I've been fishing since around about 11:15, but it's been a busy morning. The spot towards that fallen tree, bush, whatever you want to call it, I heavily baited with scopehead squid last night, and just to the right in the bay there as well. And within minutes of the left-hander going out, it rattled off, and in the retainer there I've got a nice mid-double common. It's absolutely guts full scopehead squid. It was crapping it out all over the mat, so I've unhooked it and got the rod back out on the spot. Just going to go and sort the fish out, and the right-hander rattled off with another common, but that one was quite, well, considerably smaller, so we slipped that one back. But I've just had another liner, so there's plenty of fish out there, and they're well and truly on the bait. Right, let's get that fish out and have a look. As you can see, quite a podgy looking common, which was chucking out scopehead squid from its back end. Right, let's get it back and let's get back on them rods. Well, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, I think I ended up with 2 fish, and it was a bit of a struggle really. But whether the pre-baiting last night has helped, I've just gone and bagged fish number 5, 4 commons, and number 5 is a mirror. I'm more than happy with that one. Yep, carp fishing never fails to amaze. Pretty sure that pre-baiting's helped though. Say, all but one I think of the captures I've caught this morning been absolutely crapping out the scopehead squid. Right, let's get some stills and get it back out there. So this is fish number 5. Well, it's just gone 3:25, and as it stands I'm on 8 fish. Unbelievable compared to yesterday. And this has been probably the quietest spell of the day. You know, the last fish I caught was around about 2:45. So yeah, it's gone a bit quiet. But if nothing else happens today, I can't really complain. Something I've done a little bit different today, which I haven't done in previous sessions, is, yeah, I did put quite a considerable amount of bait in before leaving yesterday, but after 2 or 3 bites today I've actually topped the spots up. So whether that's helped me is food for thought. And the bait situation's borderline. I think I've got enough just to get me through the rest of this session. So that just shows you how much bait I've been putting in. I've lost a couple of fish as well, to the left in the open water. You can still see my retainer sling drying there. There must be some stumps, because I've had 1 or 2 fish caught to the left, and all of a sudden it's locked up and I felt grating. The first one I lost, I got cut. The second one was absolutely solid and I had to pull for a break. Not really what I wanted to do, but yeah, I didn't really have any other choice. So I'm going to stick it out, I think, to around about 5:30. Just wonder if anything else is going to happen today, but as I said previously, if nothing else does, I can't really complain. It's been a really prolific afternoon. Well chuffed for that mirror. Really nice, scaly, dark tinge to it. Beautiful. Morning. Just approaching midday. And it's the start of a new month, 1st of June. And summer has begun in 2022. You wouldn't have thought it though, at the start of the week. We've had plenty of rain again and sunny spells, and I think it was Monday afternoon. We even had hailstones and they were like golf balls. Crazy weather. Today it started off with plenty of rain again and sunny spells, but that's supposed to all stop around about 1 o'clock-ish. And the rest of the day, according to the Met Office, is supposed to be dry. I'm back in the same swim that I've been fishing now for the last 3 or 4 sessions, and I think it was last Thursday I had 11 fish, and by this time I'm sure it was Thursday, I'd already got 2 in the net. As yet it's all quiet. I have seen fish in the area and one of them showed itself, but I've had no bleeps. And from the off, I've sprayed bait over the area, which is the spot on the tree there, or the bush, whatever you want to call it. And there's a rod in the gap there in the little bay. So I've probably sprayed around about 50 to 100 baits over both spots, in the hope if they do come down that margin again, it'll stop them in the tracks and they'll have a good munch. Air temperature wise, it's well into double figures. I don't exactly know what temperature it is, but it's got to be around about 16, 17. So there we go, we're all set for another day's fishing. Well, another late morning, afternoon session I should say. Let's see what happens today. Well, we're coming up to 3 o'clock and I've finally gone and bagged the first one of the session. I've had 3 bream. And around about 10 minutes ago, the left-hander, as you can see, is gone, which is spotted against that tree in the water stroke bush. And I've gone and bagged the common. Nice slow take. Pulled into it, and the fight was, well, I've got to be honest, I thought I got another bream. It came in like one. But in there I've got a nice common. The rain as forecast has cleared and it's gone really warm now, and the lake's looking beautiful as ever. Right, let's get this one sorted and get it back on the spot. Well, not long after I returned that common, I've had a visit from the owner, and he's just informed me that not long after I left on Thursday, he came down to have a look around the lake around about 9 o'clock on that evening, and he said all the fish were just starting to pair up, and Friday morning and over the weekend they've done the deed, they've gone and spawned. So that probably explains why the action has been quite slow, and I've probably done well to go and bag one. But you know me, I checked and checked again and there was no signs of any activity before I set up today. And I told him if I'd have come down here and seen anything in the way of spawning, or it looked to my opinion that the fish were getting ready to do it, I'd have left. So they've actually gone and done it. And they're on the, well, the come down, I think is the word. But there's a chance that they can do it again. I mean, reading magazines and books over the years, carp can spawn up to 3 times a year, I believe. So for the time being, they've done the deed, but there's a couple of chances they're going to have another go later on in the year. So there we go. Surprised it's took them this long, really. I mean, going back maybe 6 weeks ago, I really thought that they were going to have a go then, but nature has its way of looking after itself. So I just thought I'd drop this into the latest update. So yeah, done really well, as I said, to go and bag that one. And thinking about it, I might have a rethink as to
doing the 2 sessions this week and just, yeah, leave them be for the rest of this week and start afresh next week. We'll have a think anyway. But we've got a few more hours before this one's over. Right, gotta be honest, the sweat's absolutely rolling off me now. It's really gone warm. It almost feels like summer. Trying to get me breath. Since I spoke to you last, which was around about 3:30, 4:45, the session has well and truly sprung into life. And on the mat is carp number 4. And in my opinion, it's the biggest one I've caught since I've been fishing here. Really nice colours on this common. Proper scrap. Took me a little clump of reed and weed to the right. Yeah, got straight into there. Managed to pull it through with a gentle bit of side strain. Just praying that the hook wouldn't pull. And after that, it was like a dog on a lead. I just led it into the net. This camera's not doing any justice, I don't think. Try and get a little bit closer. Hopefully you can see that. Look at the colours on that one. Well chuffed. I've had a few more bream in between as well. I've lost count how many bream I've had today. Yeah, this one's finished the session off lovely. So it's still quite warm. Slip it back, pack up, home for tea. See you soon, folks.